Alexstrasza ban going into this map, because like you don't want to deal with that again. You've got to remove that.
Yeah, 6-man that we will very likely see all the time. Genji, Phoenix, Alexstrasza on this map, Maiev also. And lots of Rainer. We saw Asmodan last time. But this case, if they get a chance, either team, I think Relban is actually not bad. If they think about their own solo lane a little bit better.
Maybe we'll ban the Alexstrasza just for good measure. Would have been really disappointed if that was not the case. They still have a really good understanding of this map, though. Banning the Alexstrasza alone does not guarantee you an advantage in draft. It's always historically been Supernova's best map. This is probably going to be the Rainer ban. You really don't want to mess around with that.
Unless they want to take him.
Possible.
Asmo ban?
Genji. So,
okay.
This may just end up being like a first pick Phoenix once again. Rainer ban coming in for Supernova. Then GLuck takes the Phoenix pick. But close call there. We almost had a Genji Rainer potential game here. As if GLuck pulls the trigger, bans Malfurion, or bans the Phoenix, the next thing you know, like, you get Rainer and Genji in the game. So that was very close to happening.
I know a lot of you guys will be waiting for that Rainer play in competitive. Not going to happen in Korea. I don't think he's going to be out today at all. There's a very low chance.
Yeah.
Maybe a better luck in EU and better luck in NA, I would say.
As we extend these bans into 4 bans in the first phase, had GLuck banned the Phoenix, what happens next is Supernova bans a support or bans something else so that they can take either the Rainer or the Genji. But what happens then is GLuck gets to choose which one they want. So it gets a little bit crazy. That's why in that ban phase, his first ban, the second one there, you control a lot. And that's why it ticked down to 0 there for just a moment. We will see the Hanzo denied now with Yrel still prioritized here for Supernova. So kind of an adaptation as to, almost like a swap, I guess I should say, as to what we see for DPS here.
Yeah, even though GLuck did not win the first game, Overlord's Hanzo was pretty scary from the amount of output he actually had in a losing teamfight all the time. I think it was close to 120 in game 1, 120k, hero damage only. So I think it's also steal away. Supernova actually has close to 100% win rate on the Hanzo. Let me double check on that.
It's one of their better ones. Blaze taken away here. Could mean that we see Kael'thas again. The Jaina. And for the final ban, we'll probably see... well, could ban the support, but I think you're more likely want to ban the Muradin again that we saw last game. Just keep it safe. Ibn's Garrosh is pretty terrifying, but you already have the Johanna. Yeah, they banned the Muradin again. So if you just say like, oh yeah, you can have the Garrosh, you can Yrel Garrosh, it's less effective on this map. And you have a Phoenix now even, which makes it so much tougher. Yeah, that's my face when Rainer's banned every game too.
Poor Jimmy. And this is what we see actually. This is the ban that we, from Supernova, we'll see a lot in the second rotation teams. They don't have the first pick, first ban. We will have Evolve picked up and also Blaze ban coming a lot as a pattern. Because right now in solo lane, those two are just tier 0 right now at the moment. Right after that, we do have some Sonya, some Dehaka. GLuck now off to a choice with the solo lane.
Yeah, the solo lane choice versus Yrel, you have already lost the Blaze. It's not an easy pick. Might see something a little bit more old school here, to be honest. It's going to be the Sonya. Li Ming is great for team fighting with this comp, especially with the pairing with Phoenix, but terrible at the objective. So the Sonya pick kind of trades off with that. It's a strong solo matchup into Yrel. You're going to lose it, but it's not that bad for you. But it's a winning matchup on the Shrine. It's the best hero. You have Johanna and Sonya. Like, in terms of Shrine control, it doesn't get much better than that.
We just tried to Stukov and have some crowd control here.
Yeah.
I think that was the only support that we can actually have with the sustain. Luther doesn't really sustain too well. Maybe we could have thought of Anna with the sleep dart when Sonya dives in, but that was oftentimes going to be ignored with Johanna, so I think that was the best choice. I do like the Stukov pick at the end.
Yeah, the Stukov pick makes a lot of sense. The cool thing you can do with Stukov too is we've seen it a few times in Korea, mostly by Sake, but it's happened across all teams, is you silence the Johanna when the Punisher comes in, and then the Punisher actually stuns the Johanna. It can be pretty predictable because you know where the Johanna is going to be. On the defense, of course, of Punishers. But she always stands right behind the gate, pops Iron Skin perfectly timed, but if you just drop down the silence right in that moment, then she can't Iron Skin, she gets stunned, and then you can do a ton of damage to her. She usually gets away, but it ends up being pretty cool because you're also doing damage to the wall at that moment with your lurking arm. Alright, Supernova, blue side here, up 1-0. With the more traditional draft, whereas GLuck has changed things up a little bit. Meissen playing the Li Ming is, I think, the weirdest part of this draft. It's a good pairing with the Phoenix it always has been, but, you know, for the objective, weaker. That's why the Sonya Johanna, I think, makes it okay. As you're like, okay, we're picking this weak hero for the objective, but we have such positional advantage with the Johanna and the Sonya that this should end up being decent for us. And obviously Wave of Force is phenomenal against potential mosh pit setups, which is the one way you could take that control away just by positioning.
I do like the van pick. It's very standard for GLuck, but you see the silence already. Look at that.
Yep, that's what I was talking about. Johanna's not Iron Skin, and if she can't press D, goodbye. In this case, it was with not even in the Punisher phase. Just got it right away.
Poor Johanna.
Feels bad, man. Yeah. Ouch.
You don't really expect that much burst to come out this early into the game from Supernova. If you don't have anything like the Li Ming or Sonya, few crowd control and the damage. That was actually well played by Supernova. Great focusing.
Well, you can see Yrel is dominating the solo lane matchup. The days of Sonya winning that are long over. Sonya's just like, oh, just please let me exist. I would like to control the shrine later. Don't worry, I'll be back. I'll be back. And neutral camp take attempt here by Supernova. Very risky, actually. GLuck is going to collapse in here. Let's see if they commit. They do have the concussive mines, obviously, no chat on this Junkrat, but with Iron Skin, like, I don't know if this was actually correct. Yeah, that was
root. Nicely done by KCV there.
That was pretty greedy by Supernova. I like the proactive attitude, but as long as GLuck sees that, they just say like, nah, I don't think so.
I think they should have done the opposite. Try to get some wave soak in the mid lane and make sure. And when GLuck is gone for that bottom neutral, because they have a lot more poke, they just poke it out and have ETC coming around the side, and then silence continues. I think if in that way they can actually have a better gank potential. Well, it was the opposite.
Well, GLuck's going to take this extra momentum they gained, grab their Shaman camp slightly faster. Supernova looks to rotate to do the same, but because the mid lane is still being cleared right now, they have to take a little bit longer. Extra vision for GLuck. The shrine is going to be the bottom shrine, so clearing this top Shaman camp is going to be of the utmost importance because it's going to be opposite pressure from where the shrine is. Sonya is the absolute trump card here for GLuck. Sonya and Johanna need to control the shrine early and start taking control of the defenders. And ETC cannot be allowed to get value. Uh-oh.
Nice line. Overlord just warps over the wall perfectly in range.
Well, one of the advantages of Phoenix is he's just going to regen shields really quickly. So what do you do now as Supernova? You could try to push top, but they instead want to collapse and hard engage this. Even Yrel is coming down. Iron Skin means that Haben only gets one stun with this, but there's the follow-up silence. Not enough, however.
And not in the best position to actually go in, so they can't. They have to go back away a little bit. Even though Overlord pushing at the bottom, I think he's really playing well today. Look at that. Predicting the power slide as well. Moxer takes damage, but Johanna can survive. Numbers are chasing.
Okay, Haben is getting very, very low. Lead here for Supernova because of Bentham, or sorry, in this case, No Chat's ending up playing the Junkrat, but he's actually able to steal a lot of these away.
They have a lot of pokes, so making sure they still maintain the numbers, still 10 difference here.
GLuck is focusing on fighting rather than the objective, and now it's too late to try to turn the focus to the objective. Supernova's almost certainly guaranteed a win here on this. In fact, they do.
Uno just so close to be going down, and he keeps himself alive. I think he kind of sacrifices in the middle.
Do end up walking away with a win on this one. GLuck tried to get kills early, but Supernova outplayed them in terms of positioning, so they were able to get the objective completed. Whereas GLuck had positional advantage, but instead of trying to kill the defenders, went for kills, failed to get them. Their cooldowns were wasted trying to grab heroes, try to do damage. Like Asgard was whirlwinding enemies instead of whirlwinding defenders. So
They were unsure with the shot calling, and that's usually what happens lots of times. You try to catch its number and teamfight at the same time. And it doesn't really work. You have to choose one or the other.
Risaku looking to some sneaky play up here in the top lane, but not going to end up getting a kill or anything like that.
Do you think Irel versus Sonya is actually a better matchup compared to what we see a lot more? The Thrall solo lane against Irel. Thrall just has a hard time every single time that he's having a lane phase against Irel so many times. So
yeah, I mean,
should be climbing up in meta a little bit more.
I think you're right about that. I mean, Blaze is obviously a rough time too. Like, let's be real, guys. Irel is like pretty good right now. It's like when Malthael was oppressive last year, where you're like, okay, well, it's gonna be a bad time. Like, let's just get ready for it. I think what's perhaps better is to just have a ganking hero, a roamer that can help support the top laner if you really want to go for that. Bison taking a ton of damage. Here comes Haven. Did get dismounted by Roxo. That was a really good play. Without the dismount, that might have actually been a stun into a really bad trade for
See
GLuck.
the top, they're fighting. Irel, 80%, Sonya, not quite there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Sonya is getting smashed, but it's not as bad as it could be. Well, I don't want to sugarcoat this, guys. Like, this is a very losing matchup for Sonya. You can see it in the top lane. Like, if you watch the minimap, you're like, what's Sonya doing over there on her side of the wall? Why is she always behind the cannon towers?
The real power that actually comes out from Irel is actually her wave clear as well.
Yeah.
Her wave clear is just so strong. You just charge, you just wait in the bush, you just charge into the wave, and you just hammer. Basically, that's a wave gone.
And you have auto attacks to heal you. Your Q heals you. Like, your Q does wave clear and heals. So you just never take damage. Somebody's trying to whirlwind, you're like auto attacking. Kirisaku saw this gank attempt from a mile away. It totally falls flat. And Supernova just gets tons of damage to the bottom fort as a result, because Kirisaku holds his own up there so low. So he's playing the matchup really well. Pushed his way all the way to the tower, saw everyone missing on the minimap, left. GLuck still committed to the gank, so wasted a ton of time. I obviously play a ton of Urel. I play a ton of top lane. Like, Sonya and Urel are probably my most played heroes right now, and it's the greatest feeling ever when you know they're coming for you and you just get away and you're like, ha, look at all the wasted time.
Oh, got leaving. Not really going to connect with the CC. Heavy taking massive damage. Connecting with the Sabo. That may just be a kill.
Yeah, that's going to be the end of him. Doesn't end up getting his quest, but, you know, I could have gotten it without that. Going into the Li Ming there was actually incorrect, and the damage coming out from Calamity, even on top of him, Li Ming knew, like Myson knew, okay, this is a huge opportunity. This time, Asgard starts doing the defenders here. Okay, Riptire from No Chat. Oh, the anti-synergy. Myson's like, whoo! Got out of there.
That was close, but they still have lots of pokes. A number difference of 13 now to GLuck, of course, in the lead. But Heaven's already back.
Yeah, he is back. He's ready to do some stuns. He does, of course, have Mosh Pit available.
So they've opened the team by before 40. Supernova making a play, but there's only Mosh Pit. Blocking a few.
Nice.
Silence, pretty good. Getting the kill onto Johanna, but Punisher's already gone to GLuck.
Yeah, they have the trade as well onto Haben. Overlord survives through the scatter arrows. And GLuck is keeping this series, this game, competitive. We're going to pretty much, in fact, they're going to take a lead with this. I was going to say they're going to even it up, but that's not even true. They've already done that. They've already taken a lead. They're looking for more. Sonya in the top lane clears up the camp as Kirisaku is looking for a hard engage. Arrow's up in 3 seconds, but they just can't find an opportunity. Too safe are the players at GLuck. That's something I really respect about GLuck tonight in particular. They're playing so safe when they have these small advantages. They're not taking big risks. Just like the Kel'Thas game we saw on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Even the drafting, they're going with lots of comfort picks. And it actually follows the meta somewhat. And they understand their weakness. Let's not try to push our solo lane too much. Even if we try to pressure our solo lane, Sonya's not going to win the matchup. So let's not focus on that. Let's focus on our rotation at the bottom 4. Engage, but going all the way to North America.
Yeah, that's that arrow is heading.
Looks like a Columbus arrow there, right?
Yeah. That arrow headed straight.
Mayflower.
Straight across the Atlantic Ocean. Plymouth Rock just got hit, man. You just discovered North America, man. Thanksgiving's coming up in a few months. We'll remember this arrow then. Okay. GLuck had that 13 advantage, didn't really do too much with it. They didn't actually get the middle fort either. Taven is just, he's like on the cusp of greatness this game, but he's just not quite able to make it happen. His suicide run against Meissen earlier was unfortunate, but hanging in there.
He's got lots of counters against the Mosh Pit as well.
Oh yeah, the Wave of Force especially. Blessed Shield.
Even Sonya's Spear can actually cancel that as well.
Phoenix can just like kill him while he's in the mosh. You know, there's a lot of things. Still mounting
the reason why...
Okay, this is a good one.
We'll see if he pairs up, but there's no...
Okay, well, I didn't see that. Literally, Johanna said no. And this ends up being yet another one of Meissen's misengages. I could not see Johanna on the screen, so from my perspective at that moment, I thought, okay, this works out well, but Roxer was like, what are you guys even doing? Li Ming gets free to do massive damage. And once again, what looked like a good engage and the commitment to the Mosh there was not communicated with the squad. Well, the team that's so known for, despite its, really young age, good communication, they fall a little bit flat in the second game here.
As an ETC, not just for yourself to go in and have a big mosh hit. If you catch 5, that's fine. Just do that all day, we win game. But even if you miss 1, that's going to stop the mosh pit. And if you look at your team's positioning as well, you have to pair up some TC with Snookov. You don't really have an extra pair up of CC unless you have perfect Irel with the hammer coming at the perfect time. So unless you are watching out for this kind of CC that's going to continue, will be a kill.
Does get blown up there. Rip Tire, wait for the Iron Skin. Unfortunately, does get blown up before that happens. Good focus fire onto that tire. They still get the opening pick right before the Shrine, so really unfortunate timing here for GLuck. Right as they're hitting 16 advantage as well. They're going to have the number disadvantage. And they have this camp pushing. Sonya is just staying mid right now to try to grab that 16 they've got. This is an Arcane Punisher. This is insanely important. 10 seconds till Meissen respawns. They're just going to clear this camp and then get ready to engage as that Li Ming heads back up to the top lane. Very short window of time here for Supernova to make this happen. Look at Asgard's positioning. Looks like he wanted to come in for an engage.
Still Meissen just coming back from home. It's going to take some time. There's 16, so they want to pressure a little bit more before they get the Punisher. There's the power slide. No CC pair up. The silence is there now.
Okay, they already used the bio kill switch, so there it goes. Right after cooldown. Haven, low on health, baits them in. Does he get a power slide? He's very low. He goes down. He's the first to die. They get the Punisher. But it's not going to be as effective as they would have liked it to be.
May actually just go down before it goes all the way to the fort. That's crazy amount of siege damage.
They could at least use this time to grab camps. And that's exactly what they're doing bottom lane. Roxer is on the chase, on the case. I think they are going to allow the bot camp to go down, though, as this is cleared.
Not even a single punch on that fort. Defended that pretty well. They just tanked it by themselves. And they're already onto the camp because they saw Supernova going to the bottom. They want to match it with their own board. That was actually not even a fourth down, only one down still in this game, 14 minutes in.
This has been a very close series, living up to our expectations, man. Both games very close. GLuck with a pretty nice advantage in this one, closer to 20. They've got that fort in mid lane that they didn't kill, which actually ends up being kind of a bonus for them, as it'll be worth more experience later. Bot camp will be cleared up in just a moment. I think the only frustration now is Sonya, who's trying to soak that experiences in the middle of the lane top while the rotations are coming through. Very annoying, very risky to go up there. As you can see, Asgard knows exactly what's happening. He's trying to he's trying to get a little bit of, like, he's trying to trick them up. He's trying to go meta here and be like, oh, are you baiting me or am I baiting you? But obviously,
really passive rotation.
Yeah, numbers advantage there means Overlord's just going to go back down to this mid lane. Okay, well, it's going to be a passive moment now, as you say, with the passive rotations here.
I think that is why Pevin feels so rushed, because it seems like they are winning something, getting some of the objectives, but not really connecting to the fort because he's going down all the time. There's the arrow. Great cleanse.
Okay, Warp does connect after the cleanse. And this is not going to be a fight, I think, that they can really hard engage on anymore now that the arrow's been used. Could try to use Riptire, but positioning of the tank in the front line, Rockstar just makes it so difficult. And I think we are just going to see them disengage. Kirisaku's holding, of course, his trait, but just going to pop that out because he needs to move on with his life. That's how it feels when you're Rel and you're holding the trait. You're like, I channeled this for so long. Or you're like, I brought my D and then, okay, I guess I just have to waste it and move on with my life. Because you can't mount with it, you're just kind of like, oh, yeah, let's waste it.
That Space Goat by Cavalier, of course. Space Goat is pretty strong right now in this meta. Just make sure if she's open, just grab her. No matter which map, if you just grab her, go solo lane.
Did you say Space Goat?
Yeah, Space Goat. That's a new name for Rel.
I mean, when I was a kid, I used to watch Space Ghost Coast to Coast, man. It was great. That and just the original Space Ghost on Boomerang. Space Ghost.
Look like a space goat.
Yeah, she does. Now you're just reminding me of Space Ghost. Only 90s kids will understand.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what childhood that you had exactly, but does have Blessed Shield? Not gonna pop it at the moment. Thought that was actually a nice position for GLuck to open a team fight.
Oh, silence there. Unfortunately, not going to do much. The salvo was pretty early. It's going to mostly just be shut down by a heal, but here comes Asgard. Good flank. They have the numbers disadvantage, but they do control the shrine physically now. Habin.
The power slide ends, and they do buy a lot of time.
Riptire's huge. There's the final kill I was talking about earlier. Just finish somebody off. Overlord's totally alone now. No warp. Should be up in just a second. Does get taken out before
Great mosh pit to cancel by instantly there, though.
Yeah, Haven's just like trying to be relevant this game, just having a hard time. They will get the Punisher. It's a Mortar Punisher. For those who can't speak Korean, it is going to push now this bottom fort, which is already damaged, then head towards the keep. GLuck will have 20, and the respawn should come through while the keep contest happens.
GLuck again. Not really sustaining late games. It's a hard one. I think they're losing focus, one with the positioning, because they get pressure because of the pokes that Supernova actually has with their team comp. They are thinking that, well, we have to control 100% of this shrine. We can't really let anyone through, not even ETC. And then Sonya just overextends for a single second.
Yeah, just being
down
greedy.
And they lose.
They may lose this game because of it. 20's up. Phoenix is up in 3 seconds. Overlord's going to pop out of the gate. Habin does not have Mosh Pit here, just trying to body block for that arrow. It does connect onto Asgard. He's caught here. Starts to get very low. Look at the damage that Bentham is putting off here to Rockstar in very much a risky spot here. Does have to pop the Blessed Shield. Riptire out again. Does get taken out here by Asgard. Good play. And they will survive. 20 versus 20 here. But Supernova will have that permanent keep advantage. At least until the next shrine.
they don't really go on chase because the wave was actually pretty big. It was going to get some shield off. I don't think that mattered too much. Look, just trying to chase in the experience here. They do hit 20, so they need to do is maybe push a little bit at the bottom. I think the bottom camp will be coming up soon enough.
Yeah. This is tense, man. I actually love this, that we're seeing so many different heroes here. Okay, Kirisako, huge stun. Yeah, the hammer comes through.
But still has an indestructible, I think.
Yeah, she definitely does.
The Roxer is safe, but nice try from Supernova.
So they didn't really trade any big cooldowns. The Riptire's the last one to come up here. The bottom keep pressure is starting to mount. You can see the stack ups of the catapults right now. Habin, though, is caught. How's he going to get out of this one? I'm not sure if he is. Kirisako helping to save him out here as he does bolt away. Now can they turn this onto Asgard? No, they need to get out. Habin takes a huge orb. Alex blocking that damage. That could have been a reset. Li Ming gets taken out. How did that happen? Sick play here.
Phantom damage, mostly damage from Phantom. The scatter was an absolute crazy damage on Li Ming. She was trying to get killed instead.
All right, the keep pressure again in the bottom lane is going to force GLuck to get home. They need to go home. Well, they're trying to get home. They're going to go down here. Asgard tries to turn this fight. He pops Ignore Pain, but it's not enough. Overlord has shields. Does not get the salvo on the Bentham like he wanted. KCB just going to give the heals here. They will get home to save the core. Ironskin buys time. I don't know if he goes home, though. Roxer. Okay, he is going to be fine.
Lots of discoordinated mosh pits here. Alex gets last bit of heals on himself.
The core is going down. 2 catapults at the moment. They need to use this fort to get away. Overlord did get mounted, so they should be fine here. It's also just not, I mean, we're not that late game in the...
it's actually getting shield now.
Yeah.
I think with the next minion wave, they just got the auto defender on their core, but still, it was a long chase. Supernova, they didn't really... No one really got caught from the chase. They were actually chasing down once they got killed onto Li Ming. GLuck, all they rely on is the kill for Li Ming to get reset.
Well, that was a very crazy fight. This game is still potentially winnable by GLuck, but they're going to have to do it against all odds. Mosh Pit going to be down for this next fight. They're going to look for early shrine control. Asgard coming in late. They have to win it. They have to win this fight early, and they have to win it hard because the catapults and the camp pressure are going to be even heavier this time onto the core. It's time to do or die. Blessed Shield used earlier. They didn't get anything from it. They need to engage with their front line. Kirisaku is starting to work on this shrine. Good shove here. Going to buy time. Half of the defenders are dead now.
Oh, they're going home. They said even if they take the objective, we still have the fort, so might as well just defend our core first and then go for the top keep later. I think I do like this choice as a safe one. Supernova for them, if they lose, they have chances after chances, but good luck. If they lost, it was going to be game, so I do like this crisp decision they have late game.
With this composition, though, and how much they've already done this fort, the fort isn't really a deterrent for this Punisher. They have a keep and a keep wall, but we're 23 minutes basically into this game. They need to do what they could not do just moments ago and force a team fight.
Phoenix a little bit too far away right now.
Coming up now, Blessed Shield is going to have to be how they open this fight. Maybe Blessed Shield into salvo, but everyone's full health on the side of Supernova.
But it does pop in. Not really going to go in as Punisher still putting out that CC. This arrow has to connect, and the Indestructible already. Riptire connecting into Johanna. Maybe a kill. Does not really do too much damage.
Okay, this is their opportunity to start to turn this fight. The core is under attack here. Asgard in really good spot until he's shoved, though.
Punisher's
They
down.
survive. They do survive. No kills here. They could try to go for the chase. What an intense situation here. Supernova just not able to pull the trigger, not able to end the game. Bottom wave now being dealt with by Myson.
They have insane siege damage. That was the reason why they could have defended the first objective core. It got its first punch onto the top fort. And GLuck with the 57. Still a lot down on the core HP, but they do have the shield. You can't ignore it. It's in black for some reason in this patch, but
It's been like that for a while for some reason. I don't know why.
Since MSB, I don't know exactly why. It used to be white.
Well, don't get me started on Alex Ross' portrait. She was banned this game, though. So I didn't say anything last game. Okay, I didn't say anything. I was gonna say something, but I didn't say anything. Well, very even game. You know, I mean, obviously not now, but I mean, it's been a close game overall. It's been very competitive. Supernova has a massive lead now, but they're struggling so much to close it out. And at 25 minutes into the game, where we're very fastly approaching, one team wipe wins the game on either side. So, you know, this is a game that Supernova looks at and says our game to lose, and they may very well if they can't be decisive and close this one out. The next shrine is going to go directly to the core. It is of course going to be the bot shrine. They are already winning that for a long time with the catapults.
So they're doing the camp now because they want GLuck to spend time with this camp so they can actually get more value onto the other lane. Let's see the rotation from Supernova if they're just willing to stay here. They're not really going to overextend just in case they lose one and they get closer to actually losing a game. This shrine is actually spawning, and it'll actually take a lot of time before it spawns. So they're just buying time right now before anything happens.
Yeah, I mean, as Supernova, like, if you get wiped, you lose. You literally lose. So when there's nothing to fight over, all you want to do is camp, clear wave, and then hide. You're never going to try to make a play in this situation. GLuck has to, they're also hiding, being passive, but then they eventually have to go clear waves, but they're waiting to clear the waves until it's safe to, like when the waves are super pushed on their side of the map. But I think they may just have to ignore the waves and go straight for the shrine this time. This is going to be timed to be further away from where GLuck is, so they can't pre-deal with it, but their camp's going to slow it down.
Yeah, GLuck's last chance here. Might be the same for Supernova, so...
But look at Supernova just respecting the fact that if they lose one team fight, they lose the game. However, Bison's not here. Like, this is something that GLuck should remember and play around. Iron's used to ignore the power slide. Here comes Asgard. They're trying to use Habin as their opening.
Not a bad bait. Asgard takes some damage, gets some soaked into no chat.
Okay, look at the positioning of Overlord. He's just going to look for some flanking damage as he clears that wave. Does not see the concussive mine necessarily. Okay, Blessed Shield for the engage. Habin is caught. Once again, he's at the front. Getting healed up now. Bio kill switch going to keep everyone alive. Or will it? Here comes the explosion of damage. Alex does go down here first. Not Alex Strasza this game. Named himself after her. A stunning arrow comes through, but Myson gets out alive, and GLuck is fighting their way back into this game.
They got their lines in. They had to get the objective and win the team fight at the same time, or at least get the objective, but...
While also dealing with that top push.
Oh, yes. So they actually make everything come together in the perfect time. They got the focus fire onto Heavy, and it was stopped by the Hanzo's arrow for a second.
Look at the top lane.
Which was enough to actually buy some time.
No chat could make a winning play here right now if he kills Myson.
It's too risky for himself to actually go all the way far against Li Ming. Of course, with his mechanics, he can actually do quite well. They're actually getting time to clear all this, push the top lane a little bit, and then get the Punisher for themselves.
They need to be careful, though, because if anyone dies down here, it could cost them the game. It's an arcane Punisher, so really powerful in late game. I mean, we're talking 28-minute game now. With the, obviously, the new bans and the S tier heroes being banned out, we're going to see a lot more games be closer like this because games are tougher to snowball with this new meta that's kind of formed right now. I'm actually loving it. Starting to get even more hyped than I already was about the bans right now, watching these two games go so close. Wall goes down. Supernova has this keep, but, you know, it's not going to last very long. This is certainly GLuck's game to end now if they get a single pick.
They have to be careful. Myson's not here. Li Ming's still at the mid lane. Supernova knows this.
Okay, Riptire for the engage. Roxer could be the target. He's got Indestructible, though, so should live through it. Doesn't even need it, in fact. Just trying to hard engage because he knows he has that second life. Koro's under attack. Do or die here for GLuck now. They need to win the game right now.
Zero onto Myson. No follow-up, so that's an arrow down.
That's right.
Kevin almost gets called for the Punisher damage.
Here's
out the solo!
That's going to be game, I think. They're just going to knock down the core. Looks like we're going to a tie series. Indestructible popped here for Johanna. Ice block for KCB. And there's just no way to stop this. Resets galore from Ison. And GLuck brings us to a tied series. 29 minutes and 13 seconds into game 2. Very good, calm, collected responses to 2 keeps down. Never give up, never surrender. Trade cooldowns efficiently. And Bison's like, no, I'm MVP. Although it's like, well, I don't know, man. Did you see what I was doing over there? Did you see my Phoenix play? Feels bad if you're a Supernova fan, if you're Haben here, who's had one of his worst career games, to be honest, on the ETC. Looking at his history on the Hero, he's played it only twice now. He's 0-2 career on the Hero, so might not be one we see all too often. He's 1-6 in this game.
I think the real problem for Supernova in this game was, of course, the synergy between Heaven's ETC and Alex Stukov. I think the support choke actually worked in a way to the game where they actually did not really have too many power slides and the silence coming in together.
Look at the hero damage and siege damage for ETC versus Johanna. Johanna more than doubles hero damage, but quadruples siege damage.
Yeah, look at the death onto Heaven.
Yeah, 6 deaths.
Died 6 times.
But I mean, ETC doesn't have the same wave clear that Johanna has either, so that's one of the things that makes the defense of all these keep pressures a lot easier to deal with when you have that wave clear. Obviously, they have Sonya as well. Urel, a decent wave clear, but the ETC just not able to kind of pressure, put forth that wave clear. It's going to force more responses out of GLuck. So we got ourselves a series. This is rare in Korea.
Very rare. I think almost everything was a 3-0 except for one between Ballistics and Tempest.
Yep,
and we actually have a series now.
Ballistics and Tempest, I think, is the only one where there's like one game blemish.
It's just
there.
one game for Ballistics, and it was a 3-1. And won by Tempest, of course, but 1-1 tied right now. We saw some misplay by Irel, actually. Irel's supposed to come in with the Rat, not just do damage, but making sure your teammates get their 35 armor after she just rats in. Maybe I think that could have been another saving tool for ETC. Just hammers out, just because there was going to be close to no threat when Sonya is always together with Johanna from the opponent. And I think Irel was way too focused on trying to defend the back line since they have ETC, but I think Irel had to dive in along with the ETC, make sure Heaven survives a little bit more. I think that's the reason Heaven was suffering so hard and died 6 times in that game.
Yeah, I think that's kind of one of the things we're going to have to focus on as we head into Game 3 is how the URL functions. They picked it 2 of 2 games so far. We are going to take a very short break. When we come back, the conclusion of our first series.
와, GLuck